Say on streets.
Our streets.
Say on streets. And main it.
Right.
Main it. Whose streets?
Our streets.
Word on the beat, word on the beat, word on the beat.
Time after time after time after time after time after time after
What up? It's your boy Bazz, and y'all tuned in to another episode of Ian's podcast. Yes, I am excited, and what I'm excited for, y'all already know, man. We talking about money today. This podcast episode, man, we're gonna be talking about investments, and one investment is an area in particular we're gonna be talking about is the stock market. As y'all all know, I've been keeping y'all up on game on my journey of what I've been understanding, my experiences with investing in the stock and using Robinhood. I'm using Robinhood currently, so I'm gonna be talking about using Robinhood when I'm referring to my methods and when I'm referring to my techniques and how I'm viewing things. So if y'all be like, damn, what platform you be using, bro, or what you got going on, like how you get started out? I actually got started out using Webull, but also use Cash App too. So if you got Cash App, there's a little feature on there where you can buy like shares of shares. So then that's why I got started with the Cash App. Like you could put $1 into buying like fucking Facebook or Google, which some things cost thousands and hundreds of dollars, but you can buy a piece of an actual share of a company, which a share is only a piece of ownership of a company. So hopefully ain't none of that just go over your head. Matter of fact, I'm gonna slow it down real fast just because y'all need to notice, if you know, just so y'all can understand what this whole conversation is really about. A share, when I refer to stocks, stock is a share of a company, which means you got a piece of equity ownership. Equity is ownership, my dog. So when y'all be talking, so when y'all hear the media and all these people that trade stocks and stuff like that, yeah, you can, you know, just as people buy and sell companies, as y'all hear these companies be buying and selling companies, yeah, that's selling and trading stocks technically. But if you think about it long term wise, yeah, you can buy these pieces of company long term wise. As long as they're around, you got a piece of ownership in that business when you buy a share of a company. And some of these companies also offer dividends. Think about it, dividends. And that's one of the main topics we're gonna always be talking about, because that last 4 letters that they talk about, them ends, baby. We trying to make the most out of our current circumstance, and we also trying to build that generational wealth. And we always, we say we the voice of the culture, so we always talking about building that that black generational wealth, which means, making the most of what you currently do have. So not everybody's in a position to go put $1,000 or $5,000 or maybe even $100 into the stock market. So it's figuring out what can you put in there and why. So the first thing I want to jump into is we at month 4 of using Robinhood as an investment platform. And I'm going to tell you about some of the ups and some of the downs that I like about Robinhood. The up part is I love the visual. Robinhood is very good. The whole visual is very, very, very user friendly, easy to use. You ain't really got too much trouble trying to figure out where everything's at. It's kind of, right in front of you. And it's kind of, just catchy. It ain't really like too techy or really just too, it ain't really too much. But one of the things that I don't like is the alerts and updates. They pretty fast, don't get me wrong, they're pretty fast, but when I'm like me personally, my strategy is dividend investing. You don't really know about dividends and things like that until the actual end of the closing of the actual market. But they kind of they're a little bit slow with updating that, so I'll be finding out about dividends and things about that late. a little bit, but you know, hey, it just come with the game. So that was my only con. Like, we gonna try to keep it all the way 100. I ain't gonna try to sell y'all like, oh man, it's just the perfect platform and everything's so perfect. Now we try to give you real honest reviews and real honest testimonies. So yeah, user phase wise, and that's just basically what they be saying. Like, is it easy to use if you a beginner? Yes. Is it do it got like all the features you would need? Yes. Now what I don't like also too is for certain features too, you gotta basically apply for. So say like even when it come down for buying portions of shares on a platform, you gotta apply for, and that's why I say on Cash App I started instantly with that, because Cash App, that's one of they biggest go-tos, is that like you can buy partial shares of stock. You feel me? So like you ain't gotta buy like the whole stock. You could buy a piece of that share, which means you still got ownership, but you only gonna have like 0.06 or 0.6, or some, like some shit like that. But now let's get off into the actual experience, not the actual